What up, guys? Deuce. This is going to be my review for tonight's Raw, the final Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania 28 this Sunday in Miami. Tonight's Raw was actually in the home of last year's WrestleMania, Atlanta, Georgia. It was in the Phillips Arena. So I took notes tonight. So just get started. It was a good show. It was a good show. There were some decent moments. Not really a lot of wrestling at all, to be honest. More just WrestleMania build up and promos and whatnot. But okay, so the final Raw before WrestleMania kicks off from Atlanta, and Randy Orton out to the ring first for some tag team action, I guess, followed by Sheamus. And now next is Daniel Bryan and his partner Kane. So Randy Orton and Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan and Kane. Okay, tag match. Bryan Kane won after Kane chokeslammed Sheamus, so the referee was distracted because of AJ. Basically, it set up for that, and then Daniel Bryan got the win. Yes, yes, yes. Then we then get a little clip of the Once in a Lifetime documentary that aired before Raw, which I actually DVR'd. I'll probably watch that later. It focused on WrestleMania 27 last year when The Rock Bottom Cena allowing Miz to retain the WWE title. Commercial. They were airing these like little clips from the documentary all night. So commercial, back from commercial, we get hyped for Mania Sunday. Then Cole's in the ring with a red Team Johnny shirt on. He says he's just been named the special guest announcer for Team Johnny at WrestleMania. Great. As long as you're not wrestling, I don't care. He then introduces John Laurinaitis, and then who then introduces Vicky Guerrero as the official flag bearer for Team Johnny. She came out like waving a flag. They all had Team Johnny shirts on. And then out next comes the captain of Team Johnny, David Otunga. Does those like weird poses at the top of the stage. And then Booker T then introduces Teddy Long, who introduces the captain for his squad, the United States champion Santino Marella, who comes out with that little fat stack of shit, Hornswoggle, who was like their flag bearer, I don't know. David Otunga versus Santino. Santino won a really quick match with the Cobra. After the match, Teddy and Hornswoggle tabletop John Laurinaitis. For those of you who don't know what that is, when someone bends down behind a person, then the other person pushes them so they fall over their back, obviously. We've all done it. That's what DX did to Cole back in the day, but just beside the point. So then Santino's ready to. John Laurinaitis is like really pissed after he gets tabletop and he's about to attack Teddy. But then Santino's about to hit John Laurinaitis with the Cobra. But from behind, he's attacked by Miz, who drops Santino with a skull-crushing finale, and then John Laurinaitis actually botches. Said, "Well, congrats on being the newest member to Team Teddy." I was like, "What?" And then he said Team Johnny. So Miz is the final member of Team Johnny. Just happy Miz is going to be in WrestleMania. So we can then get hyped for CM Punk versus Christian later tonight. Commercial. Back from commercial. See more Rock Cena shit, followed by a really cool video package highlighting Triple H and Undertaker and their success up to this point in their careers, and also focuses on their match last year, Mania, and the aftermath, and the feud leading up to this year between the two, and Shawn Michaels, a special guest referee for the Hell in a Cell match. Really epic video. Check it out if you didn't see Raw tonight. Next out, neither of those three were there live tonight, by the way. So next out comes Eve. Eve comes out, she's accompanied to the ring by her tag team partner, Divas champion Beth Phoenix. They were both looking good. I love heel Eve. I really do. It's just awesome. By the way, this crowd was fucking awful tonight. Besides for when Cena and Rock were in the ring later. Like what the hell, man? Wake up. Yeah. So back from commercial, Kelly to the ring, followed by yeah. So. It's Kelly versus Eve, and then they hyped the stupid tag match at Mania. Again, Beth Phoenix, best women's wrestler you have, and you don't put her in a singles match at Mania. Kelly wins a shitty match. Pissed that fucking girl cannot even run the ropes. Like, are you kidding me? And that stupid little Hurricane Rana where all you do is like tilt the world, whatever. All you do is scream. Shut the fuck up. Only time I want to hear you scream is when you're getting pounded in the ass. Just start porn, please. You and Maurice. Hopefully Maurice starts porn soon. Anyway, that's another subject for another time. Just Kelly's in-ring abilities really pissed me off, and she's just annoying as fucking hell. She's hot. That's all there is to it. She should just bring back, after WrestleMania, she go back to TV 14 and put Kelly back on Kelly's expose. Pretty much. Yeah. It's when she was worth something. Anyways. We get another Rock Cena clip, this time from their tag team match at Survivor Series back in November. It was against Truth and Miz. And then we see Rock, rock bottoming Cena after that match. Then we see CM Punk walking backstage. His match is up next. Commercial. Back from commercial, out comes Christian. So this is Christian's first match in a while since he's been hurt. I like his hair. It's funny. It's kind of growing out a little. It's like short still, but a little scruffy. uh, I always enjoy Christian. Out next is the WWE Champion CM Punk. So Christian versus CM Punk. Then before the match can even start, Chris Jericho appears on the Titantron. Kind of had a feeling he was going to be involved in this, match segment somehow. He then talks about winning. He talks about winning the title from Punk at Mania and becoming the new WWE champion. How he's going to expose him as a fraud, the fraud that he is this Sunday. And Y2J starts talking about Punk's mom and says, she's actually like the normal one in your family. Punk, congratulations or whatever. And says that he did, however, find out some new information that Punk's parents' wedding happened after his birthday or whatever. So you, Punk, are a bastard. And Punk was like, the Punk, you could see, is just like, same reaction he's had to all the insults Sharks had, just like, what the hell. Then Punk's attacked from behind by Christian. Punk sells shit really well, by the way. Just his like emotions and in the ring, guy's just a complete package. Same with Jericho. Two of the best. Can't wait to see this Sunday. Anyways, then Punk attacked from behind by Christian, and then Punk just beats the absolute shit out of him on the outside of the ring. Match and everything got started. Hit him with a brutal kick. Hits him with a GTS on the steel steps. And then locks in a really vicious Anaconda Vice until the refs have to, basically pry Punk off Christian. Good segment here. Punk stands in the middle of the ring, holding up his title as we go to commercial, saying best in the world. I hope Christian wasn't seriously hurt because of what happened later in the night. And then to go to commercial, back from commercial, out comes Brodus Clay. Yawn, who cares? His opponent's Kurt Hawkins. Push this young kid, please. Brodus wins in a squash match. This gimmick's just awful. The crowd's not into it. This crowd sucked tonight, but you can just tell no one's into this fucking Funkasaurus shit. Should be the fucking Fatasaurus. Or it should actually just be called the Squashosaurus, since all he does is just bury the young talent. Anyways, so we get another clip of Rock Cena called War of Words, basically them just trash talking. More hype for the Rock Cena showdown later tonight. Commercial. Back from commercial. There's apparently, so the Hall of Fame induction ceremony is going to be the night after WrestleMania. Apparently it's a 3-hour Raw the night after, but like, don't they usually do it Saturday night before Mania? They probably are. They probably just won't. They don't film it anymore, I guess. They actually, I think it may be on WWE.com, but they probably will film it and just air it Monday. I think it's fucking stupid. Just put it on USA for free so everyone can see, you fucking bastards. Yeah, so anyway. Now, next comes the big show. Out comes Primo and Epico and Rosa Mendez. Man, mamacita. She is very sexy. So it's Big Show versus Primo, and during the match, Cole says he just received word that Christian has been medically ruled out for Sunday's WrestleMania match. So now Team Johnny needs to find a replacement. So what the fuck, man? I wanted to see Christian wrestle, and honestly, I think maybe it's because he actually really hasn't been cleared to like fully wrestle, like compete yet. So maybe that's why I took him out, because Christian, they didn't really have a match, he and Punk tonight. Kind of just a scruffle, and then he got his ass kicked after. So maybe he's really not medically cleared yet. Or he's like just there, but not quite. I don't know. Maybe I'll read about that later. Interesting. I really wanted to see Christian at WrestleMania. What the fuck? He didn't wrestle at last year's Mania either. Anyways, then Big Show wins with a huge choke slam. After the match, Cody Rhodes comes out to the stage and tells Show, he's like, "Oh, you don't worry." He's like, "Don't try and run. Don't stay right there. You won't catch me. Be like a water buffalo running down a cheetah. We all know it never happened." Then talks about how shows failed in Mania. Time and time again, he says, there's a quote, in the nature of every person to error. It's in the nature of every person to error, but only a fool perseveres in error. Good quote. Cody then says, so with that being said, after our match at Mania, we're going to make your name a verb. And he gives a bunch of examples like, we're going to be telling all, like our kids, like these high school kids, like, don't Big Show your finals. Or the young guys going out to the bars, hope they don't Big Show with the ladies. Or in the worst, I've got to take a Big Show. It's good stuff. And then he says on April 1st, April Fool's Day, Show will lose like the big fool that he is, or something like that. Segment ends with Big Show looking really pissed off in the ring. I'm actually interested. This has been a pretty decent build up to this feud. So yeah, commercial. Back from commercial, we get another vignette for Lord Tensei, A-Train, whatever you want to call him. Can't wait to see him. Probably gonna debut after the Raw the night after Mania. Um, and backstage, you see the slutty Bella twins, and they're arguing. One of them's got a Team Teddy shirt, the other one's got a Team Johnny. Uh, they can't tell which one's which, and they're arguing which team's better, like who's got who on their team. Zack Ryder walks up, and his Team Teddy shirt says some shit, and that he tells one of them to change their face, and they get pissed and walk off. Then Eve walks up and says like, "Hey, well, like what?" Eve's like, "I'm sorry about I was just frustrated from this Divas match. Like the stuff I said to you last week, I took it out on the wrong person." She says, "What hotel are you staying at in Miami?" And he's like, "Well, Team Teddy, we're all staying together." And she's like, "Well, how about you stay in my room?" And Zach goes in for a kiss, and Eve stops him and says, "After WrestleMania, it'll be time to celebrate." And she walks off. God, I love you, Eve. You play the perfect bitch, like just full of herself heel, just manipulative, gets your way. I like that. I like Eve. So yeah, good shit there. And then we see CM Punk with Josh Matthews backstage, and Punk basically talks about Jericho can call him whatever he wants, but his family's off limits. He says what Jericho said about his mom is a complete fabrication, and that he's not a bastard. He's the best wrestler in the world. And then we see Mark Henry and the Great Khali walking backstage, and they have a match up next. I don't know why. So commercial, then back from commercial, we get hyped for WrestleMania 28. Out comes Mark Henry, accompanied by John Laurinaitis, followed by Khali, who's accompanied by Teddy Long. And then Cole says he just received word that Christian's replacement on Team Johnny, the final member of the team, was going to be Drew McIntyre, who has his issues with Teddy Long. I actually like that. If there's going to be one replacement, at least put a young guy who's talented in there. And hey, who knows? Maybe Drew will win the match, and that'll start like his push. So yeah, that's good stuff. So Mark Henry versus Great Khali. Mark Henry wins the world's strongest slam. Uh, After the match, all hell breaks loose as John Laurinaitis throws Teddy Long in the ring, and then Team Raw comes down to basically, shields the ring so no one can interrupt what Mark Henry's going to do to Teddy. And then Team SmackDown runs down like guys individually. Santino and Kofi R-Truth get beaten down. Then Kofi hops in the ring and receives the world's strongest slam. And then Booker T comes in to make the save on Mark Henry. He's about to drop Teddy Long. And Book says, and hits him with a scissors kick. And then Teddy asks him, how would you like to be on Team Teddy at WrestleMania? And Booker says, I've only got one thing to say. Now, can you dig that, sucker? Uh, gotta love Book, but that's pretty cool. I'm happy he's going to be in a WrestleMania match. First one since WrestleMania 20 or 22. Or no, WrestleMania 23. Yeah. 07 was the last Mania match, I believe. So anyways, yeah. So then we see Cena beating Mark Henry from last week. Then we get hype from the final showdown between Rock and Cena before WrestleMania this Sunday, and it's up next. Commercial. Back from commercial, out comes The Rock. The Rock says WrestleMania 20 was the last time he held a WrestleMania match, and people were wondering if that was Rock's last match. He says everyone everywhere for 7 years asked, like, when are you coming back, Rock? Like, until last year, it said, like, some funny shit about, like, pie and Betty White's, like, Civil War pie. It's, like, absolutely awful. So despicably gross, but it's pretty funny. Until last year, WrestleMania 27, when he walked in the Georgia Dome and delivered a rock bottom to Cena. That's when he knew the wait was over. Rock says in 6 days he returns to the grandest stage of them all. He says he returns to do what he does best. And he says finally Rock has come back to Atlanta. Rock says there's only one man who people wanted to see him face to make history, and that man was John Cena. Rock says his last WrestleMania was Cena's first. It's true. At WrestleMania 20. He puts, back in 2004 at the Garden, put Cena over for what he's done basically since then. Rock says, but Cena's never faced anyone like The Rock. Then out comes Cena to ruin the party, basically. And my one just biggest pet peeve with Cena is like he can cut good promos, but like why is he always smiling? Especially in this feud with The Rock. Like, it's not fucking playtime. It's not kiddie time. Like your little fucking fans. It's fucking grown men shit business. Like take it seriously. Rock sure as hell does. Anyways, so Cena says, did anyone hear that? Says this reaction is nothing new to me. It'll happen at Mania too. The Cena sucks. Let's go Cena. Cena sucks. Fruity Pebble chants, all that. By the way, this is gonna be the end of this video, so stick around for part 2 of my review.